What's up, Mo Fishies? Welcome back to the channel. As always, you know I appreciate you, Mo Fishies, checking out another one of my videos. Today, obviously, doing a tournament truck talk, a wrap up of the last tournament we just fished in, and we're gonna do it in the Army's after action review AAR format. What we did well and should sustain, and what we didn't do so well and need to improve on. And then I do a little extra one looking ahead at what's coming next here on the channel, and there's a lot of stuff, so stick around. So what we did, tournament on Lake St. Helen down in St. Helen, Michigan. We finished in 3rd place, and I'm gonna up front tell you right now it is an asterisk 3rd place. My buddy Don, who's up, fished that tournament with me. We were out there pre-fishing 2 videos ago, I think it was. He actually finished in 3rd place, should have finished in 3rd place, but his little placard that you have to have in all your pictures with your unique identifier code for that tournament, he just wrote on a piece of paper and stuck in his thing and was sending that up with each fish. And according apparently to Topwater rules, you have to use their little specific card and write the code on that, which I did. I didn't realize that was a rule, or I would have given him one. I didn't know he didn't have one. But so yeah, he kept submitting his fish, and they would come up on the leaderboard. And in the video, the tournament video, you hear me telling him that his fish is on there, and then it disappears, and then I see a fish on there, and it disappears. They were denying his fish because it wasn't on that stupid little piece of paper that said Topwater Series on it. So even though he had the right code and everything, so he should have finished in 3rd, but because of that ridiculous rule, he finished in last, and I finished in 3rd. So credit where credit's due. Don really finished in 3rd, and I got an asterisk 3rd place. I should have been in 4th. Whatever. I'll take it though. That's 4 tournaments now I beat Don in. 4 tournaments that him and I fished in together that I've beat him in. I'll take an asterisk win in that aspect. So anyways, so that's what we did. What I did well, I'm gonna circle back around to that one because I'm struggling with that, honestly. So what I didn't do so well is I think relying super heavily on the Berkley Pit Boss. It is my OG confidence bait, and there's nothing wrong with, you know, I'd love to have a confidence bait that I know I can catch fish on kind of no matter what. And the conditions had changed from pre-fishing to the tournament day. It was a completely different lake, as you saw in the 2 different videos. Went from like 95 to 75 degrees, windy, water was dirtier, the smoke in the sky. By the time I left, it was 60 degrees. So yeah, conditions changed. And it's great having a confidence bait like that, like I do with the Pit Boss, but I'm over relying on that, I think. And I know I talk about it, getting confident with like chatterbait and other stuff, and I need to do that because I gotta have a second bite, a second bait that they're gonna bite on if the Pit Boss doesn't work, or before the Pit Boss, and only go to the Pit Boss, you know, like break in case of fire or emergency, you know, get the extinguisher out. The Pit Boss is my fire extinguisher. But so that was one thing, and then the other thing kind of hand in hand with that, that I didn't do so well, or wasn't thrilled with how I did it. Like I said, Don came over, and him and I were talking back and forth, and I was telling him that his fish weren't like showing up on a score tracker, and he told me he was hammering them on chatterbait out there a little deeper. And I did catch a couple in practice. I think my biggest 2 out a little deeper on a chatterbait. So in the tournament, when he came over and told me that, I was like, ooh, I better go out and start throwing the chatterbait. He's out there throwing it and catching bigger ones. And I had caught like 4, it took me an hour to catch my first bass. And then I had caught 4 like pretty quick succession right there after that. And then I was like, well, I'm going chatterbait fishing. And I left the shoreline, and I went out and I chatterbait fished, and I didn't catch another fish after that, honestly. I went out there, Tried working the chatterbait after Don moved out. Nothing. And by the time I got back into the shore, I was like, I got to go get my 5th bass. I had to get my limit. By the time I got back in close and started throwing the pit boss again, the temperature had dropped a lot. I was cold at that point. I was like, oh man. And then I got nothing. I was getting bit off by pike and stuff. I think I missed 1 bass. So I abandoned what was working well for me, what I had confidence in, listened to somebody else, went and did their thing, which they probably had different color, a different technique. I could go park right next to him, probably my canoe right next to his kayak, and we could throw the exact same stuff, and I wouldn't catch it because he does a little action different, you know, whatever. It's hard to say, but I need to stick with my game plan, and what's working for me, and not worry about what anybody else is doing. So there's that. I'm gonna improve. I start the video off, the tournament video, throwing the Berkeley gilly, which I didn't even throw in practice. And I was like, I'm gonna nose hook a gilly and throw it. What? I've never caught a fish on a gilly. I've had those packs of gillies like 2 years when they first came out, and there's 1 missing out of them. Apparently I threw one once. I didn't catch a fish on it, I can tell you that. Like, and I decide all of a sudden I'm gonna be a nose hook gilly fisherman. Yeah. So come up with a game plan and stick to the game plan is definitely an improve that I need to work on. And then circling back around, like I said, to the sustains, what I did well, I don't know, I guess I fished the pit boss well, but that's not going to carry me the whole season to the end in first place for Angler of the Year. There's no way. I'm really honestly struggling. I can't think of, like, out there in the tournament what I would doing well enough that I would do again. Honestly. You guys have seen the tournament video. Did you see anything that I was doing so great? You're like, hey, you should keep doing that. No, I don't know. It wasn't even retying, remember? Retie or cry? Yeah. Didn't even follow my own advice on that one. All right, and now a look at what's next here on the channel. Number one, I've been working like 3 days on this mod for the truck rack for the canoe. It's finally finished. That'll be the next video. It's game changing for me, it really is. Especially for the Susquehanna and my plans there, bouncing spots, especially pre-fishing. I'll be there pre-fishing for 3 days, I think, being able to bounce different spots and not take an hour and a half loading and unloading, and that's all I'll say. But make sure you check that out, especially if you got a larger kayak or a canoe and you don't want to do a lot of lifting or carry it upside down. And that's all the hints I'm getting. So tune in to that one. And then after that, I plan on doing a couple different videos with this next series, the Kayak Adventure series for the Susky 5 Slamma Jamma on the Susquehanna River in Pennsylvania and Bloomsburg. And do kind of like a travel vlog, but not like where I'm filling up, you know, my stinking gas and that kind of stuff. I'm gonna I haven't really ever talked to you guys about it, but I'm on a carnivore diet. I've been on it since last October. I've lost about 40 pounds. And one of the things I want to do is show you guys the carnivore diet and how I do that traveling as a professional tournament bass angler on the road, how I maintain my diet. And I don't know, I thought it'd be something different for the channel. A lot of people, everybody everywhere is always so interested in, like, wait, you just eat meat? I'm like, yeah, pretty much. So I figured maybe you Mo Fishies would be a little interested in that, because everybody seems to be, or at least curious. So there's that, and then I'm gonna do like a behind the scenes at a tournament, like not the fishing stuff, but all the welcome dinner, the Bass University brunch, the Bass U brunch. There'd be a lot of big name in the kayak fishing, bass fishing world, that is. A lot of big name people there. And then I'm gonna probably do 2 practice videos and day 1 and day 2 of the tournament video. So this tournament's a big deal. It's like a double tournament with the Kayak Adventure Series tournament and the Native Watercraft like Big Bass Power Hour, I think it's called, for 9 hours. They give $1,000 an hour away for the biggest bass submitted. So there's some real opportunity here. And I am so stoked. I haven't been sleeping well. All I think about is baits and this, and I got all these new techniques and everything. Oh, and another video, as I was going through all my stuff and getting ready and figuring out what I'm exactly doing technique-wise and ordering new stuff and everything, I'm going to sit down at the campsite and shoot a video, and it's pretty much just going to be about owner hooks and why I use owner hooks and the hooks I have and the uses. It's like the who, what, when, where, why. Probably not who, but well, sure, owner hooks is who. But all the different uses that I use for them, especially if you're a beginner. I don't think like some serious advanced anglers are watching most of my videos. I think it's mostly beginners, probably. And so it's all stuff that I've figured out over the last 5 years from watching other people and just trial and error in the water. So all that's coming your way, Mo Fishies. Stick around. Please subscribe if you haven't. I would really appreciate that. But as always, you know I appreciate you watching my videos. The hours, the minutes, the seconds. I am so grateful, and I truly mean that. I truly, truly do. So, until next time, catch you Mo Fishies later.